Hello there YouTube, and welcome to Teching the Meta, and in this week we will be discussing the deck type gadgets and their multiple forms they take on. Alright, so we know how gadgets work. The deck is essentially math class. That's what I always called it when I was playing in tournaments. I said, oh, I'm playing math class, but it is a numbers game. It's an ability to plus more than your opponent. In this case, we'll be plussing off our summons, plussing off our magic cards, and plussing off other monster effects. So the typical move for gadgets is summon a gadget, grab this gadget, and then we grab this gadget, and then we loop all over again. We usually play 2 sets of gadgets, and this is for the best consistency, proven time and time again through tops and such. And while we control this constant monster flow, we're destroying opponent's monsters with magic cards such as Smashing Ground, Dark Hole, and many other cards like that. If you like to play Soul Taker or Fissure, those are other cards you can choose. But we tend not to choose those anymore because we have triple Smashing Ground and a Dark Hole now. Other cards to protect us are cards like Book of Moon and Spirit Reaper. Book of Moon, we can flip their tuners down to prevent them from synchro summoning or the appropriate monster that we need to book. We can also Book of Moon monsters to prevent from attacking, or Book of Moon them to make sure our gadget pushes get in over their monster's attack and switch into defense. And for Spirit Reaper, we can set it, attack, and now they're having trouble getting around it because it doesn't die by battle. Spirit Reaper also gets in massive plus because when we go Smashing Ground, attack directly, not only did we destroy a monster, so we 1-for-1'd off that, we put damage in for an attack, so that's essentially a 1-for-1, I guess. And we're getting rid of a card from their hand, so you're plussing off that. You're destroying a monster, you've ruined their monster flow, and you've also gained advantage by getting rid of a possible combo card or limited cards such as Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, or other cards like that. Now, this is how regular gadgets work. I'm going to show you a couple tech picks that you can choose for your anti-meta gadgets or a different build that we'll be discussing in a little bit. Alright, for anti-meta gadgets, we'll start off with Fossil Dynapocket. It's a 1200 attack, 1300 defense, level 4 Earth type monster, and its effect is neither player can special summon while he's face up on the field. When he's set and he flips face up, he destroys all special summon monsters on the field. So this could be destroying a lot of monsters. Like in the X-Saber format, we set this, they attack, after they go Bogart Knight, Full Helm Knight, Fall Troll, Hunley, and just rape your field, and then you +4 off of them essentially with one set monster. And they're like, oh no, how do I come back, blah blah blah. I just wasted my entire hand for a game push I thought I would get through. This is why Fossil Dyna is a definite good tech pick choice. He's a little bit expensive since he is a secret rare from Lighted Destruction. I'm not 100% sure if he's been reprinted yet. I think he has been in a turbo pack. Don't quote me on that though. That's what the internet's for. Next tech pick, Banisher of the Radiance. Banisher of the Radiance is an interesting tech pick if you live in a heavy graveyard controlled format, such as Debris Plants or any of those plant variants. Frog Monarch. The Frog Monarch doesn't really have too much of an issue with this guy. And just other deck types such as that. He's really good, 1600 attack, 0 defense though, so don't set him unless you're losing, and if that's the case, you've already lost by now. But he's definitely good to get rid of that graveyard manipulation your opponent has. Our next 2 cards are a toss-up. It's Doomcaliber Knight and Thunder King Ryo. Doomcaliber Knight, 1900 attack, 1800 defense. Its effect is it can't be special summoned, and when an effect monster's effect activates, you tribute this monster. It's a mandatory effect, and you negate the effect of the monster and destroy a card, or destroy that card. And we have Thunder King Ryo, 1900 attack and 800 defense. His effect is neither player can add cards from the deck to their hand, and that when a monster inherits special summons, you can send this card to the graveyard, not tribute, but send. So what does work under Mask of Restrict, and send it to the graveyard to negate that special summon. Now this is inherit special summons such as Cyber Dragon, Synchro Summons, and other cards like that. This does not mean Monster Reborn, Miracle Fusion, or other cards like that. You cannot negate those since it is at the start of a chain and he can't chain on to stuff like that. Now these are toss-up because Thunder King does negate Sangant and Dark Soul, but he doesn't negate Gold Sarcophagus, drawing outside of the draw phase, and other cards like that. Doom Caliber Knight does negate some of these effects. I mean, if it's effect monster effect to add cards from somewhere to the hand except for the deck, you know, tribute to negate. Though this does backfire on him sometimes, because if your opponent has a Necro Gardenet, instead of negating the attack, he just outright kills Doom Caliber Knight, so he's made your control monster look stupid in a sense. It is a toss-up depending on what your meta is like. I would say choose Slender King when you're playing in a meta that uses a lot of deck searchers. This might become pretty big in 6-sand format. It's still a toss-up, we're looking at it. And Doom Caliber Knight, always a great defender, so you can just set it, avoid Solemn Warning, bump, oh no, you know, I can't activate anything. Doom Caliber is definitely great against Gladiator Beasts if you live in that kind of format. And that's all for the, oh no, wait, I'm kidding, haha. Alright, and now we have 4 more cards: Compulse, Divine Wrath, Dimensional Prison, and Royal Oppression. This is always a good choice to pick in your deck. It's a 1/4/1, it has good removal, it removes Stardust or any other big beaters that you want to get rid of without destroying. You can run this. 1 is kind of iffy, 2 is good, 3 is if you really just want to play 1/1s and you don't live in a Decree format. Compulse is a cheap man's Solemn Warning. It's always very effective. You can chain on the summons and use it at the right time. Get rid of face-down Rykos, get rid of face-down monsters for game pushes. Always a good card to choose. I'm looking for supers, by the way. We have Divine Wrath and Royal Oppression. Royal Oppression negates special summons. You might think, why is this a tech pick? It's always running gadgets. It's a tech pick because we only play 1 now. It's really hard to draw. You can draw it at the wrong time, and you get screwed, essentially. But it's also good if, you know, you obviously be playing 3 dualities and just cards like that, but Royal Oppression is always a good choice in gadgets if you can get it soon. Hopefully within the first couple of turns. In Divine Wrath, it's a poor man's effect failure, essentially. It's a counter trap, though, so it's hard to compete with. It does get rid of Herald if you live in a Herald format, so play 2, possibly 3 of these. And that's all for the tech picks for that section. And now we'll go on to the special summoning Dark Armed variant of gadgets. Dark Arm variants are obviously play Dark Arm, and they play other dark monsters such as Gravekeeper's Descendant, Spy, the Krebin's Engine, Doom Caliber Knight, and Cyber Dragon, and Monster Reborn. So let me discuss these cards real quick. Dark Arm, special summon it when you have exactly 3 darks. 2800, remove a dark, kill a card. Simple as that. You play it with you have a lot of darks in your dark deck. Spy Engine is for consistency and to mess your opponent up. Set a Spy, they attack, flips up, get a Gravekeeper. You can usually go Descendant, start popping off monsters or magic cards, or you can go for another Spy if you just want to build a wall up. The Krebin's Engine, you can play 2 Krebins, or you can play a Krebins and a Psychic Commander, I believe his name is. It depends on what kind of monsters you want to synchro for. It's always good, you know, summon a gadget, emergency teleport, grab a Krebins. You still have, you've only lost 1 card off of that since you've gotten your plus off your gadget, and you've summoned a monster from your deck. Synchro up into your Black Rose or Goyo or whatever your target is. Always a good choice. Doom Caliber Knight, great. It's a control monster, it's dark. You can start getting really good pushes in. Maybe drop Dark Arm, pop your 3 or whatever, then drop a Doom Caliber Knight for amazing control. Always a great card. Cyber Dragon, you can go Cyber Dragon, Doom Caliber Knight, great control. It's got 4000 attack on the field with the ability to negate a monster's effect. That is a scary field facing against. I have fought it before, and one of your outs is probably Dark Hole, and that's about it. And then we have Monster Reborn. You play it in any deck almost all the time. Monster Reborn, we all know it does. Play it, special summon a monster from either player's graveyard in either position. Great. Some cards you can't special summon, of course, like Dark Armed. You can't special summon Doom Caliber or any, I think it's called Nomi monsters, is what's they're called. It's a stupid name. Look it up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia. other than that, that's about it for the special summoning segment, I guess is what you would call it, of the gadgets. Sorry I had to make that a little quick. I'm about to run out of time. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and maybe give us some suggestions for next week.